It's Monday evening with all of its splendor. It is a beautiful Monday evening, and Christmas is almost here. I hope that you are having a magnificent day. I hope that um, you're going to get everything that you so desired in this coming year 2021. I hope that you are inspired and motivated and that you are planning your 2021. It is Cook's Lessons Learned in 2020. And this is I think we are on number six. Number six. These are the lessons that I learned in 2020. And I want to talk about um, don't leave anything on the table. Nothing on the table. So often you'll have those people that come in your life that's always critical of what you're doing. You look to do new things. You're in search of new endeavors. You have a vision. And sometimes we cast a vision among swine. In our vision, there's this thing called potential, right? Potential is things that can happen if we put forth the effort. Potential is the thing that's unseen, but in our mind, we can bring it to fruition. Potential is the thing that's untapped, it's untouched. But if we keep it in the forefront of our mind and we so desire to go forth to bring it to fruition, that's the potential of a thing. But you're always going to have, whenever you're trying to maximize your potential or whenever you are trying to bring forth potential, you're always going to have those things, those places, those people that will cast doubt, whether it be verbally, whether it would be emotionally. They'll put some kind of guilt on you. Or there's something that you may see that makes you think that it can't happen for you. I've come across that, this year where you have those people when you let them know what your intentions are going to be. And to them, it may be far fetched, but to you, it's in your grasp. They'll either think that it can't be done because they don't want you to do it, they want to do it, or they're not, or they'll say it can't be done because if their hand is not in it, they'll cast doubt, or their mind, they might be looking at it from the glass half empty, and they cast doubts in your mind. Whenever you want to maximize your potential, you can't look at what has already happened in terms of the successes that you've already had, right? Because Miles Monroe said that the enemy of potential is not what can happen. The enemy of potential is what has happened, your successes, the things that you've accomplished. Why? Because the things that you have accomplished makes you feel empowered. It makes you feel as if, we become lazy in our thinking, or we become lazy or in our pursuit. Bodybuilders, they don't work as hard to maintain as they do to get the cuts, the toning, the muscles. No. Once they have the six pack, I'm talking about some of them, once they have the arms, once they have the traps, once they have the biceps and triceps, they don't work as hard in the gym. Yeah. Some of us, once we get to a certain amount of money, and we have a certain lifestyle, then we feel as if we've maximized our potential and we no longer want to go to another level. Potential never settles for what is. Write that down. Your potential never settles for what you have done or what what's going on. It never settles. No, because why? Potential is an untapped source. Yeah, and so people will always say, I have certain people that come into my life and I'm always doing this, I'm always doing that, and so one of my friends, they say, Cook, you're never satisfied. And my answer was simple. I'm never satisfied. Why? Because I believe that there's more to me than what I see in the mirror. You get that? Whenever you look in the mirror, you can't be satisfied. It has nothing to do with self-esteem. I'm not going there. It has nothing to do with how good you look. I'm not going there. But it has everything to do with what can be if you put forth the effort. No. If I were to bring a tomato seed right here, right? And I pass that tomato seed around to a group of people, a group of non-farmers. They'll look at it and they'll call it a tomato seed. If I pass it to a farmer, he's going to look at it and he's going to look at it as a tomato plant. Why? Because he's looking at the potential of what can be. While we're still stuck in the seed thought process, he's already thinking about it ahead of. And what I'm saying to you, whatever the project, whatever the vision that you have, don't look at it as just a vision. Look at it as the building. Look at it as the business. My business is present tense. You want to label it, call it, make the vision plain instead of just talking about it. I don't care what your naysayers say. I don't care what people have to, what remarks. When I think about, and this is appropriate to say, when we think about Joseph and Mary, right? Joseph was this carpenter, and the spirit, the angel came down to him and it said, came down to Mary, and then Mary was a virgin, so on and so forth, and Joseph has to make the decision. Am I going to stay? Mary has to make the decision. Do I have this child? What happens if I have this child? What are they going to say about me? Because it's a town and there's a lot of hearsay. How are they going to feel about me if I have this child? Because I have to go through the process of carrying it. Right? Noah said, God told him that to go ahead and build the ark. He said, in his mind, it's going to take me years to build this ark. People were talking about him. People said he probably, and I'm speaking isogenical. He probably was in his mind, and I'm just saying, this may not happen. Suppose God tell me to do this and it never floats, it sinks, so on and so forth. He's telling me to do something, not because there's water around, but he's telling me to do it. Why? Because the potential of what I can do, the potential of what can happen. And so Noah said, I'm going to build this boat. Yeah. Regardless if I see water or not. And that's how we have to be. We have to make moves regardless of what we see and what's not seen. And everybody that's talking about us, everybody that's saying it can't be done, everybody that's calling our plans foolish, you're one step away from being a millionaire. I'm one step away from being a millionaire. We're one step away from enlarging our territory, from maximizing our potential. And what do we do with it? You can't get so caught up into what has happened, because what has happened is done and it's over. It can't help you. No. Soon that money you made, it'll run out if you keep going without tapping into some other parts of your life, some other potential. Yeah. What happens if Mary said, I'm not having a baby? What happens? Then the blind man would have never saw. The 5,000 would have never got fed. No. The lame man, the paralyzed man at the pool of Bethesda would have never walked. What happens if you just sit there and not tap into that potential? Yeah. I learned in 2020 that you have to make moves or be moved on. Period. Either you're going to make moves in life, or life is going to move on you to put the pressure on you. Woo! It's time for you to go forward. Tap into that potential. Whatever the vision is, move in it. Just don't sit on it. I've been sitting on this book I was supposed to write 4 years ago. It's not that I'm going to stop. It's just that it was on pause. And anything that's paused, it just sits there and it withers. Let me close this. There's a difference between a pond and a river, right? Whenever I live not too far from a pond, right? It's a lake. And the lake, it's a pond, it doesn't move. And whenever I go past there, what I see is that on top of the pond, it's just stagnant. It never moves. When I look at it, on top of it is dead flies, dead mosquitoes, dead everything. It's all of this nasty stuff. Why? Because a pond that doesn't move only attracts dead things. But when you look at a river, when you go down a river, when I went to the kayaking thing, a river, it's always flowing. And so what happens is that I threw a rock in the river. And you know what happened? The water went over the rock. When you throw a boulder in the river, guess what? The water goes over the rock, it goes around it or under it, or just carries the rock out of the way. And you have to make up in your mind, am I going to operate like a pond? Or am I going to operate like a river that no matter what comes, what goes, who comes, who goes, no matter what's in my way, I'm either going to go around it, go over it, or I'm going to move out the way. The only thing that a pond, a stagnant thing, attracts is dead gnats, flies, mosquitoes, things that cause an inconvenience to you. When a mosquito bites you, you scratch it. Yeah. Untapped potential. Tap into it. 2021. We're making moves and not be moved on. I love you, but God loves you more. Holla at your boy.